Hi, this is Amie at the virtual Planetarium at Raritan Valley Community College. Let's take a look at some of the things we can see in the sky for the week of October 11th. I'll start with our upcoming moon phases. The moon will be new on October 16th and at first quarter on October 23rd. We will have another full moon on October 31st. In our evening sky, let's see, we've got the sun setting around 6:20 p.m. this week. It's getting earlier and earlier. After sunset, you can see a bright light in the sky in the south. That's the planet Jupiter. It's shining brightly at magnitude -2.4. To the left or eastward of Jupiter is the much dimmer Saturn. The two planets are about 7 degrees apart. That's a little more than the width of 3 fingers held together at arm's length. Keep an eye on this pair. They're heading for a super close encounter in December. Did you know that Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system? It's so big, all of the other planets could fit inside of it at the same time. It also rotates much faster than our planet Earth. One day for us is about 24 hours long. One day on Jupiter is less than 10 hours. Above our giant planet pair is the summer triangle. Yep, we can still see the summer triangle up here. It's made up of the bright stars, Altair, Vega, and Deneb. We've been seeing the summer triangle since June, and we'll still see it for about another 2 more months. Deneb is at the top of another asterism called the Northern Cross. Now, if we make our field of view even larger, we can see that there's a hazy band of light in the sky. Starting at the horizon, going past Jupiter and up through the summer triangle, this is the Milky Way, our Milky Way galaxy. Our galaxy is flat, so when we look sideways through the galaxy, then we see this band of light. You can't see it from just anywhere. The sky needs to be really dark for you to see the Milky Way galaxy. So you need to be away from cities and towns with no light pollution in the sky. Some of the northwestern parts of New Jersey are pretty good for that. Or if you're up for a drive, Cherry Springs State Park in Pennsylvania is the darkest park on the East Coast. So it's a popular destination for serious stargazers. All right, back to our sky. We can see Mars rising over in the east. Mars is at opposition this week on October 13th. That's when Mars is opposite the Sun, with Earth in the middle. At opposition, Mars will rise at sunset and set at sunrise. This is also when the planet shines at its brightest in Earth's sky for the year. Mars is shining brighter than all the stars, and even brighter than Jupiter, which, as we saw, is also visible in the evening sky. A Mars opposition happens about every 26 months. That's because it takes Earth 1 year to orbit the Sun, but about 2 years for Mars. Above Mars is the Great Square of Pegasus. A square in the sky. It's pretty easy to find because it's fairly large, and not surprisingly, it's in the constellation Pegasus, the flying horse. Now we can use Pegasus to find some other constellations in the sky. So we have the Great Square here. This star here is, I call it a shared star, but officially it's part of the constellation Andromeda. So we'll go down the line of Andromeda and then cross over and go up 2 stars. And we'll see a smudge of light in the sky right here. That is the Andromeda galaxy right there. You'll need, again, dark skies to see the Andromeda galaxy because it's really just a smudge of light. Or at least to our eyes, it's just a smudge of light. In reality, that smudge that we see is the center of the galaxy, where stars are most densely located. You need a long exposure picture, like this one, to begin to see the spiral arm structure. M31 is over 2 million light years away from us. It is the closest major galaxy to the Milky Way, and it's on a collision course for us. Don't worry. We won't collide for about another 4 billion years or so. All right, back to our sky. Above Andromeda is a squashed M or squashed W of stars. This is the constellation Cassiopeia, the Queen. So this squashed W represents the Queen sitting on her throne. And then off of Andromeda's feet is the constellation Perseus, the hero. He's holding the head of Medusa, the Gorgon. She was that woman creature that had snakes for hair. And her eye is the star Algol. It represents Medusa's evil eye. It's a variable star, changing its brightness over a period of less than 3 days. So in about 3 days' time, if the sky is clear all that week, you can see the star go from its brightest to its dimmest and back to its brightest. Now these constellations all share a story. We start with Perseus, the hero. He was on a quest to kill Medusa, and he did. He cut off her head. When he was flying back home, he saw Andromeda chained to the sea wall. She'd been put there by her parents, King Cepheus and Queen Cassiopeia. The sea monster Cetus was going to come eat her. Perseus showed Medusa's head to the sea monster, and it turned to stone and sank to the bottom of the sea. Then Perseus rescued Andromeda, and they lived happily ever after. This Greek myth has been repeated many times in a variety of ways, including in a few movies. So, some stories say that Perseus is riding Pegasus, but most of the time, Perseus is flying with his winged sandals. And we have Andromeda, Cassiopeia, and then above Cassiopeia is King Cepheus. His constellation stars look like sort of a house with a square and a triangle on top. Cetus the sea monster is also visible in the sky, well, a little bit later in our sky. So we can't see it right now. All right, are you an early morning riser? Great. Well, then let's get up early. The sun is rising at around 7 a.m. So if you're outside about an hour earlier, you're going to see the moon and the constellation Leo, the lion. We have the backwards question mark here that marks the lion's head, and the bright star Regulus, and the planet Venus. Now from the morning of the 12th, we see the moon to the above Regulus, and then on the 13th, it's much closer to Regulus. On the morning of the 14th, it's below Venus. All right, well, that's our sky for this week. Thanks for joining me in our virtual planetarium. Don't forget to go outside and look up at the sky. In the meantime, please subscribe to our channel and like our video, and we'll see you at the real planetarium hopefully soon. Until then, keep looking up.